Thinking about buying a franchise? Then the How to Buy a Franchise show is just for you. Here's your host, Dr. John Hayes.
So, you finally sold a franchise then?
We did.
And how many now do you have?
We are up to 25.
Very good.
Just sold 2. We'll be closing on next week, so we're super excited. We're in 7 states now. We started in Texas, and we're actually starting to branch out, and this is going to be our breakout year. We're pretty excited.
How many do you think you sell in 2017?
At least 20 to 25.
Well, so you're going to double the size of your network.
We've doubled almost every year.
You're here at Franchise Expo South in Dallas with the idea of finding Texas franchisees, Oklahoma franchisees.
Yeah. Anyone that's in we do a pretty extensive demographic study before we ever sell one.
Yeah.
We made a decision. We don't just want to sell a bunch of franchises. We want to award them.
Yes.
It takes a little longer to build that way, but our franchise organization is much happier, and we're enjoying who we work with.
The number one complaint that franchisees have would be what?
In other systems would be
lack
of support.
Okay, lack of support.
In our system, it is not. It's we just won the Franchise Business Review Top 50 for having high satisfaction levels.
Yes.
In fact, there was no negatives that they could come up with when they interviewed. So we don't know I don't know how to answer that one.
Well, when franchisees call you and say, Dave, this isn't working, what is it? What's not working?
I would say that they are the number one struggle they have is motivating themselves to go out and get the business, thinking that the business is just going to come to them. They're going to be a millionaire overnight.
It's not turnkey.
Right. So that's the number one thing, is it's a sales-minded business.
You have to go out and call on businesses?
You do.
So this is a salesperson's business, male, female, or you got to hire sales staff.
Sales and customer service, that's the name of the game.
Is it easy to generate leads of people who are willing to talk to you?
It is, because the struggle that all HR professionals and small business owners are having is that they send someone out for a simple drug screen for pre-employment. They come back in 3 hours, and we all know that they went home and had a sandwich and stopped off and didn't come straight back to work.
Right.
With us, the HR person knows we're going to test them within 5 minutes, and they're going to get the results on their desk within another 5. So it dismantles that whole process. It's a much cleaner, more streamlined type of process.
Yeah. Is it possible to beat these tests? Somebody who's on drugs, or how do they beat the test?
There's always somebody that is coming up with a new idea. Right now, the most typical way to try to beat it is to use someone else's urine specimen, put it in a shampoo bottle with a hand warming pack around it with a rubber band, and shove it somewhere inconspicuous, and most of the time that doesn't work because it has to be in temperature. It's hard to keep it in temperature.
Oh. So it's difficult. I don't even know how to ask this. You watch somebody provide the specimen, but you can't really it's for privacy purposes.
You can actually. If the employer requests an observed test, then we can. It has to be female with female and male with male only. Even if you're a doctor, it still has to be that way.
Yeah, well, that's the nitty-gritty of the business. But tell me about financially. Let's say I want to buy one.
Yes.
How much am I going to spend?
Between $66,000 and $83,000.
Wow.
That's with the $35,000 franchise fee.
So $80,000 investment, essentially.
Turnkey.
And that gives me a protected territory?
Protected territory.
And how much training am I going to get?
You're going to have 2 weeks before you come to the franchise training in San Antonio, and then you're going to have another week of certification with us.
And is the lab work done at somebody's lab, or am I the lab? Do I become the lab as a franchisee?
The beauty of what we do is we're more of the middle person. Anytime that we test someone, if it's less than good news, let's say that we do a simple urine screen, those tests run within 5 minutes. If they get bad news, they have to be confirmed at a lab, so we're going to send those off for testing at our lab. So it's a FedEx process, then we get the results back usually the next day still. It's all electronic at that point.
Yeah. Okay. So the HR people love you because you're speeding up the process, fastest
Labs, right?
And they're getting more work out of their folks as well.
Yep.
And franchisees love this because it's probably a 9 to 5, 5-day a week business. It's not weekends.
No nights,
no
weekends,
evenings,
no holidays.
And the $80,000, give or take some, investment range is a nice sweet spot for people.
Absolutely.
Can they finance the opportunity?
They can. We're SBA-approved franchise. Just had our first 2 go through that process. It was pretty seamless. We're also VA. There's VA financing for us, and then we also use another company for the 401k IRA ability.
Rollover, that people, if they want to use their own money from their retirement fund, which a lot of people do.
Yeah.
So, sounds like a very interesting opportunity. You're happy that you made the transition from franchisee to franchisor.
We love it.
You have different kinds of headaches now.
It's very fulfilling. I mean,
Yes.
we love it. This is my dream, is to be the franchisor after being in 20 years as a franchisee.
Oh, great.
We've gotten to create the culture. If you don't create the culture, it'll be created for you.
Yes.
So we've got we don't even call them really franchisees. We call them franchise family members because it's a really close group.
Franchisees learn a lot from other franchisees. It's one of the great benefits. Zig Ziglar said you can have everything in life you want if you'll just help enough other people get what they want. Nobody can do that better than a franchisor. Well, maybe a teacher can as well. But franchisors, this is what it's all about.
Yeah.
You are helping people live the dream.
Absolutely.
That they're going to replace their job, they're going to replace the boss, they're going to become the boss, and they're going to build their own financial stockpile.
Yeah.
And that's what franchising is all about when it's done well. And sounds like you're doing it well.
Thing. Yes.
Yeah. Well, good for you, Dave. Congratulations. I
Thank
think you made a good move. You sound like a really good franchisor to me.
Thank you.
Dave Claflin, who's the founder, president, CEO of Fastest Labs. I'm John Hayes, How to Buy a Franchise Show. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you for listening to How to Buy a Franchise Show. If you want immediate assistance, visit howtobuyafranchise.com to contact Dr. John Hayes for a free consultation.